Hello, everybody. This is Uncle Pho, Richard, for your Pho Talks with a friend of mine, my Gwangju roommate, David Landry. Ou Monsieur Landry.
Salut, salut.
Or hola, I don't know.
Kamsahamnida, kamsahamnida.
No, kamsahamnida means thank you.
Oh, yeah. But thank you for introducing me like this.
Okay. Hello is annyeong, or I know say annyeonghaseyo.
I should say anya before I say kamsahamnida.
Kamsahamnida, yeah. And no spicy. No spicy.
Spicy?
Spicy. X spicy.
Yeah, white boy spicy, please.
How's it going, man?
No, it's good. It's good. Just in between the time of Christmas and New Year's, life, just slowing down. No school, no classes.
Just for the public who doesn't know you, who is Monsieur Landry?
Myself, I was born in Edmonton, grew up in Montreal, learned how to speak French. Je parle français, je suis bilingue, professeur de la langue française in Oakville. Been teaching now for 8 years. Apparently I figured out this is my ninth year of teaching, which is crazy. Yeah, so this is I'm in my 9th year. I even at the beginning of this year, I was like, oh, it's like 8 years. But it's because I've done 8 years. And then now this is my 9th year of teaching already. My teachables are French, geography, special ed, and English second language. So I teach the Pho lovers.
Okay.
And I myself enjoy excellent international cuisine. When we were in Gwangju, we took full advantage of bulgogi and all of what Korea had to offer for us, which was delicious. Even the fried chicken and beer.
Chimek, yeah.
Yeah, the Chimek. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What else? Love Thai food. Need to get my repertoire up on the Pho game.
Yeah.
I got my start in swimming at Pointe Claire Aquatic Club, or maybe swim club. Yeah, PCFC swim club. Because my mom took me to Beaconsfield Bluefins growing up for swim lessons and then more. And then she realized she never swam a day in her life, but she realized pretty quickly that Beaconsfield Bluefins was not Pointe Claire.
Yeah, same thing for me. My mom's like, oh, this is not enough for you, Pointe Claire.
Okay. Yeah. So both of our moms picked it out, could snuff out bad progress.
Did you did the colors up to level 6? Yeah. Then okay. I did all the colors, bronze, silver, gold. I did level 6. I don't know what the heck was it. The exam was to do a 400 IM. And I was 10 years old.
I remember this 400 IM. Oh, yeah. I was such a scrawny kid. I used to think the 400 IM was oh my gosh, I thought that was like the Terminator. I was or the Gauntlet. Because I'm you do 100 fly. I think that was the deal. If you could get the 100 fly done,
the rest is easy peasy.
Anything was possible, yeah.
Because level 6, I don't know how many, because I was too young. They felt I was too scrawny and too young to move up into the swim team, but I was already competing tennis, so I didn't want to really compete swimming.
Yeah, you're doing more tennis at the time,
yeah. So I was doing level 6 all the time. I think repeating. 2 years.
Well, I know it's funny for that because I know I repeated gold once because there was nothing else for me to do.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, "Well, you're not doing nothing, so."
Yeah. I think I was doing level 6 until I could do bronze medallion.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just level 6. They're just and I think you had the same thing. If you're alone in class, you're effed.
Oh yeah. No, it's the worst.
It was a 45-minute practice of pure butterfly. I had to raise the coach. And I puked at the end.
Oh man, that's nuts.
You ready, Dave, for the Pho question?
Yeah, let's do these 4 questions. The lightning round of Pho.
Okay, so first, have you ever eaten Pho?
I have eaten Pho.
Okay.
I like my bowl of Pho.
Okay. Except your white man bowl Pho.
This is the white man bowl of Pho.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is your go-to Pho type and go-to restaurant if you can remember?
The restaurant, that's tough. I want to say So two things. I want to say, first and foremost, you do the beef. Pho is the go-to,
Yeah.
100%. If Janessa has her way, it's chicken broth with chicken stock with the spiciest as can be. My restaurant of choice, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I know we used to go to this place in Mississauga on Dundas. Oh, it was like, I can't remember what it was, but I know we went there a few times with my family, and it was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it, especially in the winter. Oh, nice warm pho. It's the best.
Oh yeah.
The good Canadian pho experience, you know?
Yeah. And what do you expect in a good pho?
Good pho needs to be have a good variety of vegetable, good chunks of meat, and I like the broth. From what I remember of pho, I like the broth to be like it has to be like spicy, but not like sometimes it can be like chemically spicy. You know, like I like it to be like the natural, like I don't know. It's probably I've had some photos probably that have like MSG and stuff in them. Try to avoid the MSG. Just go au naturel, just good spice, good solid broth. The meat is tender.
Yeah. And what size bowl you gonna take? Extra large, medium?
Extra large, yeah.
XL.
The bigger bowl, the better. Exactly.
Okay. And how do you eat your? And do you chopstick and spoon, or you fork it? Okay.
Oh no, chopstick spoon combo is definitely the way to go. I love that because you get like the spoon going and you're able to get the broth and get just constant intake. You got to have the ambidextrousness of it is what it's all about. I don't even like I'm right-handed, but like whenever, and Janessa can attest to this, like whenever I'm eating, it's like I don't even switch. It's just like the fork and the knife just constant.
Oh yeah, constant. That's the breaststroke life, right?
That's it. That's the swim catch. I get the like. Normally we teach some lessons where it's like, okay, like scoop the bowl of ice cream and put it in your mouth. Now I scoop the bowl of pho and put it in your mouth.
Right? Oh, you use ice cream. My tip to kids was you open the window curtains.
Well, I like
you look up and you hide.
Okay. That's nice. I like the scoop though. For me, it's always the scoop. Like you want to get every last little bit of the ice cream in, but I like to open the windows. It's nice. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah. We don't teach enough of this in breaststroke. I think too many people think it's just like this.
No, it's like the out sweep.
Well, it initiates. It's the catch to be able to get the purchase on the water that you need to be able to get to here. Yeah. So instead of just like starting and basically giving up this portion of the stroke, to get the out sweep still produces forward momentum. Like, when you scull like this, you can still go forward.
Yeah.
So I have to know, because you asked me about pho, best place pho, what makes a good pho for me. I have to know in all of your travels, because you've been places where I don't know if the pho's up to quality, up to snuff. Best pho you've had on your trip, on your travels so far.
For this one, or including work travel?
No, like travel. Sorry, like in terms of like this experience that you're on right now since you took off.
It's not.
Have you been enjoying much? Have you had much to choose from, or no?
In France, I had every week. My goal is to do it every week, right? So the best one, I think, was when I was in Montpellier. It was in Montpellier during my lockdown. It was about 7 minutes a walk from the studio apartment I had.
Okay.
But they had no sizes, right? And like I came in, the guy saw me like, "Oh, you're Vietnamese." I'm like, "Yes." He's like you're here for pho? I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Okay." Like he was like, "Oh no, what I'm gonna do?" And it's like, "Just give me your best pho ever." It's like, okay. And I asked him, "Do you have extra large?" It's like, "No." It's like, here people don't eat much. Like they say, don't eat much, and they don't want to waste. So it was like a medium size.
Yeah.
And had it to go.
That's awesome. That was the best pho?
Yeah, but it wasn't up to par to the best pho ever. It was like out of all of France, it was the best bowl.
Oh, okay. In Montpellier.
Yeah, and here
you were like in Paris, you were like in Marseille. Like where else were you? Just
but I did Paris. Paris wasn't good. It was too expensive. No. It was too expensive. Was too expensive and had too much star anise and cardamom in it. Here in like Spain, Tenerife, forget it. Like there's no Vietnam. Like there's like maybe 10 Vietnamese people. So
And your Spanish is okay? Are you able to get by?
Yeah, I'm surviving. I'm doing Duolingo.
Yeah, Duolingo help you.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm like slowly getting better. Just watching Spanish TV.
It's good. Yeah, telenovelas, baby.
No, I don't like I don't like the telenovelas. I'm watching like a lot of like movies that I've seen already, so it helps.
Okay. Yeah, you know the context already. Yeah, that's good.
Like yesterday, there was a marathon of Captain America movies.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So even the Germans, when they speak Spanish, they don't have a German accent. I was expecting like, give me an accent because you're German, but they have super pristine, like Spanish
because they
accents.
have to be like that. That's the like dubbing where it's all Spanish.
Yeah, but imagine an English movie, they'll still give an accent to the Germans.
True. That's true.
And there's a lot of Germans here, and I heard Germans speaking Spanish. Okay. They have a German accent when they speak Spanish. So why they don't take the effort into a bit more like an accent in the dubbing?
Yeah.
I would love it. Like it makes it more authentic.
That's it. That's a cultural question, 100%. Yeah. And everything's locked down though, eh? Like you don't have any like the pools are done, everything's done.
Pools are done until Jan 3rd.
And you have to swim in the ocean then?
Yeah. But I think once the pools are open, I'm going to still swim maybe like on a weekend just to cool down.
Keeping open water, yeah?
Yeah, keep the open water, but just keep the feel of the water. And and slowly I'm going to do double sessions.
Nice. Yeah, get into it.
Yeah. Right now, like doing 5 is easy for me.
Oh yeah. 5 a week.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And the swim team, but because of so before lockdown, it was 2-hour sessions.
Okay.
Then restrictions got tighter, 1-hour sessions.
Oh, just.
And during the 1 hours, the coach tries to squeeze in 3K, but hard 3K, like sometimes 3.2, 3.3, or like trying to push the limit, and you're just going hard all the time. Like it's all about base, and it's base training, I think, because we're just doing pure volume, like 20 by 50s or 10 by 100s or 20 hundreds, just sheer volume. Yeah, it's like hand paddles, then hand paddles pull, then hand paddles fins, then take off the hand paddles, only fins. You're just ramping the volume like until you cannot just. Like even I swim with kids because here the masters team is combined with let's say the elite team sort of.
Okay.
So I'm swimming with nuclear engines where I'm like a diesel engine almost.
Still getting the motor going.
Yeah. Like my warm up, I have to start my warm up 10 minutes before everybody.
Serious?
Dry warm up. Yeah.
Wow. Because you're swimming with the young kids. Yeah. We were finding that during like when we had to do public swims here. Now it's all closed down. But when we had to do public swims here, it seemed like it was like, 4 or 5 young kids, like from club swimming, would come into the public swims, and I'd be
wreck everybody, and they wreck you.
Like yes and no, because like they can wreck us in like they can just swim forever. But like we're only swimming for like 45 minutes, and there was no way I wasn't swimming in the fast lane because like medium is like. Don't even go there. So I'm like having to like keep up in the fast lane with these quick kids. But like I tell them too, I said, listen, like, here's my workout. They're like, oh, great. That sounds good. Like they're always like willing to do the workout because their coach gave them like 2200s, like something stupid like that. And I'm like, guys, come do masters. They're like, oh, we like masters. This is good.
It's relaxing. Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. It's so awesome. Because I'm like, guys, would you rather do 50 and 2s or would you rather do, 6 2s and then like 12 50s? They're like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, because us, it's like it. So we warm up is 500 meters, just warm up. Then
warm up.
Then 10 by 1000s and 130.
Okay, that's good.
Long course.
That's like that.
Yeah, that's fast. But I cannot hit those intervals. I do like 140, 145.
Long course or short course?
Long course.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah. And one of the kids, he's half Korean, half Spanish. Nuri. Okay. He swims steady 1.7.
Long course. That's good.
But then he finishes his 1000, and he's like, like in his book, he's like, I'm struggling. He's like, you're struggling?
Yeah, 107's consistent, man. Holy, like, and just keep going on 130s. That's legit.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Like I do my two to three first hundreds, I can hit 130. Then just
everything starts to, well, it's amazing how when you do like it's interesting because you do like 5 or you do 6 or you do 10, and your body like psychologically your body only has like so much like gas in the tank. So like let's say you're doing 5, so like after 3 everything just starts to suck.
Yeah.
You're doing 6, everything after 4 just starts to suck. Like, but it's always proportionate to like how much you're actually doing. It's never like after 4 my body will always suck. It's like depending on what the total is, your body will always start sucking at like the 75% mark.
Yeah. But I remember, and what I liked about the coach here was that he told me, he said para dos means stop for 2. So because he told me stop here because you're struggling. He was seeing me struggling, like
sucking wind, like dying.
Like my last like 15 meters was like just
spinning, no traction, no DPS, like
just all kick.
I distinctly remember this like 9/200s breaststroke set. Oh, it was brutal. It was terrible. And like it was descending and like everything was just sucking because like breaststroke for me is the hardest overall stroke because there's so much you have to like body posture and hip posture, like everything like you just everything has to be on at all times and everything has to work like together at every
you cannot
stroke.
Be lazy. You cannot be lazy.
There's no laziness in breaststroke. It's brutal.
Red Cross breaststroke, you can be lazy because it's for survival technique, but for competition, you cannot be lazy.
Oh my gosh, like proper like Adam PD technique for breaststroke is like I don't know how people, and like that's the crazy part too, is that the guys are going like Adam PD type breaststroke for 200 meters these days in racing, and you're like how is that possible? Like how do you stay that much on top of the water, driving your hips forward in breaststroke for like 200 meters? It's like that's crazy.
What tells you that it was a great practice session? I'm curious.
For me, like I know that it was like awesome when 2 things. When first of all, like I call them like chemical levels, but like just myself, like knowing like my ups and downs kind of thing like this. Mm-hmm. When that is like mellow, like when I get to a place where it's like I've put enough effort in where the body physically is feeling like, okay, like let's take a break. And the mind is like, whoa, like that was like total head rush. Like there were moments where like you were seeing like stars a little bit like this. Okay. And that to me is like when you know that you put the work in, and a little bit like too, especially when we only had like the 45-minute sessions, like towards like now, like up until now, when now everything's locked down, but we did like 45-minute sessions, or an hour and a half, but most of them were 45 minutes. Because it was like, I called it fast and furious. It was like, you get in, you like empty the clip, we call it, like you just freaking go all out for like once, maybe twice, but you treat it like a performance, like the race, where you're like, okay, in 45 minutes, I can do a good warm up. I can do like one really fast. If I'm not happy with it, I do a second one. And after that, it's like 10 minutes of warm down. But it's like you just empty the clip and you feel like that was it. I went like so hard, like balls to the walls, and then that's it. So that to me is like the mark of a really accomplished training session.
Like when I was training with the French team, it was more diverse sets with technical aspects, like more drills, a lot of kick, like a lot of tools. Nice. So it's a lot because there was always in the warm-up IM, individual medley, all the time. Like every practice there was an IM set all the time. So because that's I think they wanted to have a more more rounded swimmers, right? And they're so fast. Like in that team, I was like the slowest guy. Like the women were fast, the old men were fast. Everybody was fast. It was ridiculous.
Well, I think that you brought up an interesting point, because our team does the same thing. Like EOMAC, when we're in, like I was following the workouts, so like same thing. We do IM warm up. We do like IM main set at least once a week. And it's interesting because if you can continue to have a good command of all 4 strokes, I almost feel like that's a huge advantage, because different strokes can help you. Like for instance, like doing more butterfly can give you more power for freestyle.
Yeah.
Doing more backstroke can give you more roll in freestyle. Like it's so interesting that, you know, because you have the more diversity of like the different stroke offerings, like for what the body has to do in throughout, and even breaststroke, like, I mean, getting the whip kick and working on the glide and understanding that, you know, you put all effort into, you know, moving forward, but then maximizing it by getting into streamline faster. Like all of these things I feel like play into the whole picture of being able to make you a better swimmer overall. And I know that our coach, Lewis, who went to the Olympics in 2008 for long, like he was there for open water, actually. Like they thought maybe he'd be better 15, but he went open water. So, but for a coach who's like open water, you think maybe like he would just kill us with volume, kill us with mileage. But no, he like gets it. He's like, you know, I want you guys to be well-rounded swimmers. It's better for the body. It's better for the mind. And like it uses certain components to be able to help you in all of the strokes. So yeah, it's interesting you said that about the French way of doing things, and a little bit more technically savvy stuff with being able to add the kick in and that kind of thing as well. I think is huge to be able to like to create, or well, to hone or to foster a better overall swimmer. Because for us, like that's one thing that I tell coach all the time. I said, you know, we only do like a kick set once a week, and it's like, yeah, the legs need some love too, you know.
Yeah.
So, and if you're not doing the biking, like cycling, or if you're not doing the running outside, like, I mean, back in the summer when we were doing those like awesome workouts where it was like hills and like running track workouts and stuff like that, like, yeah, the legs are like a lethal weapon, you know what I mean? But if you don't have the kick training in the pool and you're not doing that outside, then the legs just become this like heavy, cumbersome, you know, thing that you have to deal with where you're just dragging legs along, you know? So,
yeah. But I'm realizing like my underwaters are getting better.
Good.
Because more here, because we're doing tons of fins. Tons.
Oh yeah.
Like,
getting that undulation and understanding that like, oh, I can do like 3, 4, maybe even 4, 5 dolphin kicks off each wall, and like it's way easier with fins, and that way you like teach the body like, oh, it's doable. Like, you know, I'm not going to just die when I come up.
yeah. Because like we did sometimes like 10 by 100s kick only.
Yeah.
Just pure kick without board.
Oh man, with fins though.
With fins, but still.
Yeah, man. That's intense, man. That's intense.
Yeah. Here in Tenerife, when I came in, they were preparing the kids for competition. So we're like in mid taper. So we're doing speed work.
Oh, I like it.
I came in during taper. Then once after the competition, volume work, just hammer it in.
So because we were talking so much beforehand, and you were looking forward to this, like you were counting the seconds to be able to go, to give yourself a bit of a break, and you had planned it all out, and everything was, you know, pre-pandemic, everything was looking amazing, and you had options and everything like this. I'm very interested to find out how was taking this time off in terms of improving your personal self, and then because this is a vlog a little bit based on swimming, how have you improved yourself, your swimmer self as well, Rich?
Oh, yeah. Okay, personal self. I realize I'm really good of like comment dire, je me débrouille.
Okay. Yeah. There's no real translation for that in English, so
yeah.
that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it in English. I think it's like
you adapt, and you're very like, yeah, you get yourself. Oh yeah, someone tried to explain to me one time what that actually means. That it's like, you know, you're easily like your comfort level.
You shift gears easily.
You shift gears easily. Yeah. Your comfort level.
I feel like I'm Jason Bourne.
You feel like Jason Bourne.
Yeah. I have to adapt all the time, especially with COVID. I had to always like.
Yeah. Just the next lockdown doesn't keep you down.
No, exactly. So it's hard because at 37, it's like you're already like, you have a good, let's say, baseline of yourself, right?
Oh yeah, you know yourself well enough, 100%.
Have you seen Denzel's movie The Equalizer?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it yet.
So you're like this loner who needs to always adapt to everything, and it's interesting. Okay. It's interesting. I feel like that about myself when I'm doing this, like not being dependent. So that's cool.
Yeah. That's good. Is this something that you felt like before you didn't know that as much about yourself, or is this something that you kind of knew and now it's like flourishing?
I knew about it, but I didn't know I was like that good.
Oh, okay, good. Well, that's good. That's good. That's huge
Yeah.
personal growth. That's awesome.
Swing
Yeah.
wise, I'm swimming higher in the water now.
Oh, good, good, good.
Like because I was practicing tons of my core before my core sucked. So now like I'm swimming way higher and I feel it. But
Nice.
but because of that, my breaststroke I have to change my timing because my hips are too high.
Are too high. Yeah. Well, which is like a good problem to have though. So
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
no, I know
now
what you mean.
my heels are out the water and like just whipping air, and I hate that. I'm like, oh, I have to like try to sink it, so I have to like play with my hip flexors. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think actually it's funny you say that because I'm pretty sure because that's the difference between what makes whip kick and like breaststroke versus fly, because fly is a derivative, like or
It's a
sorry, I guess.
bastard child of breaststroke.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. I think you have to keep your heels underwater for breaststrokes. So you're not disqualified. I think. You know this?
I don't know. The rules has changed
I
so
know. It
many
changes all
times.
the time. Yeah, yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. But I'm pretty sure that's a rule though, because I'll feel it the same way as well. When like I haven't swam for a while, and I don't have the like kind of proprioceptor like self awareness to figure out where I am and with relationship to the surface of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, like my heels are breaking the surface. Shit, keep going. Because well, I mean, it's funny. If it is like illegal or just like disqualify you, it doesn't make you any better if you're trying to kick air. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
but it's because they don't want you to be able to create that downward motion. It's supposed to be a whip around, right? So,
Yeah.
but no, it's cool.
Yeah. So
It's interesting, and I'm happy to hear that like things are progressing for you, well, personally, of course, but also like you're seeing when you're putting all this time into swimming that like there's actual fruit coming from all of this. That's good.
oh yeah, the like even my breath control is way better, especially wearing a mask all the time. I can go underwater like
Good,
super long there.
good,
Like
good.
doing a 25 underwater fly kick is easy now.
It's
Like
easy
end
now.
of
Good.
workout. End of workout.
That's sick. That's sick. Yeah, I like to do that underwater 25, and then
Yeah.
I'll push myself. You got to do underwater 50. That's like when and you can
Yeah.
go underwater like full leg long course, like without
Because I
fins.
did because if not I can do a 25 breast pullout. I think I have to
Oh
do
yeah.
4 pullouts and I'm at
Okay.
the
Okay.
so it's not bad.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. 4 or
I wonder
5, I
how
don't
many
know, but 4 or 5, but I can like
did Jeff say he takes like 3? Did you ask him? Or
yeah, he takes like 3 or something.
he's powerful, man. That guy's a freaking machine, breaststroke machine.
Yeah.
I want to see him. I want to see him in the 4th spot, and then the 2 guys get COVID, so he gets to go to Olympics.
Exactly.
Oh, you're the filler, Jeff. Oh, okay.
Okay, you're de facto now. Like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay, sure. This guy just like shows up at like freaking what is it? The ultra swims or like the pro like
Pro,
arena series.
yeah, pro-ams or the pro
Yeah,
series. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, you showed up at that? He's like, yeah, like I got my ass kicked, but it was good. I'm like, dude, like, just showing up is sick at those meets.
Yeah.
It
Would it be
used to be called
funny?
Grand Prix.
Would it be funny that he goes to Olympics, but because they don't have time to change the clothing, he gets like Cody Miller's jacket and it's written Miller on his back.
That's awesome. Representing America, Cody Cody Miller. That's awesome.
You remember when you were training like almost every day because for Olympic trials and all that stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
So how did it feel to always swim all the time, and how did you cope with that intense in training? Because I'm training almost 5 to 6 times per week.
Right.
And planning to do double sessions. So how did it feel for you to always swim all the time? And how did you cope with it?
For me, like it's interesting. Just recently, I kind of mentally went back to that place that I'd be doing like doubles, but like doubles on my own, like training. Like I mean, it was with a team, and I felt like it was like good people. But like I was done university, I was in teachers college, I was managing like balancing that. Like it was different because I would do like swimming in the morning, and then like a weight session, and then go to class, and then sleep, and then swim, and then like try to have some resemblance of a social life because I still thought like we're still living the dream. And yeah, it was like it was a lot like thinking back and like going through what I went through to put it all on the line, but like obviously being able to like still do teachers college as well, so that I wasn't like putting my life on hold, which I mean, long term, or like big scheme of it, like it was way better that, I didn't say, okay, I'm just gonna like not do school, whatever. But like to your question, to answer your question, like to continually just pound the body, be at practice 2 days with the weights, and like just be achy, like just to be like sore. You get over it, you do, like you reach a point where you're no longer like beginner stage achy, where like most people would feel for quite a while. Like you just kind of feel like numb to like you need to be icing all the time, to like it's just like, and I remember actually, so that was like when I was training for Olympic trials. But then recently when I was training for Korea, I went to a training camp at McGill with the Acadia University swim team with my cousin, who's still to this day currently coached by Gary McDonald, 1976 Olympic silver medalist on the medley relay for Canada. So this guy knows what he's talking about. Like, total G, like would just like, kill us. Like I have every set that we did from this training camp saved on my phone. I took pictures of it. But like, honestly, man, doing 2-a-days for the first time since doing that for Olympic trials in 2012, 7 years later in 2019, it was like, just like icing shoulders, like, praying that like I could come back the next day. Like I got, the thing with that though, is I got so sick because I was like training so hard that like your body, like you get to a place where you're like, okay, like this is just the new normal. Like this is like, you've reached a new level of like insanity, and you think your body can take it. But then like, for instance, we went to Montreal Canadiens game one night after doing a double, and like the second of the double was insane. We did, I think it was, is it 40? It was either 40 or 61s, where you started out, I think it was probably 40, because you started out, it definitely was. So 41s, where you start out on 140 and you go down by every one, you take off a second on the pace time. So number 2 is on 139.
And you finish at 1 minute.
And I died. Like I was like, because I mean, for a sprinter, that's like, what's it called? Assisted suicide.
Yeah.
it's like you're like 130, your body's like, oh, that's only like 10 in. You're like, oh my God, I can't do this. And then you reach like 110 and you're just like thrashing. You're just like, so I got to like maybe like 110, and then I started either putting fins or I took a couple off, kind of thing like this. But like I was done. Like I was like tapped out, done. I mean, but it pushed myself. Like I knew there was a greater good to it. Like I knew, like that set is made for like a 1500 or like 800 swimmer.
Yeah, long distance swimmer. Yeah.
Maintain, right? But for me, it was like just trying to make it through. And no, like and I didn't go stupid. Like I was going like, whatever, like, 120s, making like 20 seconds rest at the beginning, but then like going down, having like no rest and still having to like go quick. Like I was like, I mean, it was short course, but still I was, after maybe like 45, 50, I was toast, like totally toast. Took a break, came back in. Everyone was giving me shit. They're like, oh, old man Landry. Oh, I was like, guys, I'm literally 10 years older than you. Shut up. So, and then that night we go to the Habs, like the Montreal Canadiens game, because my uncle who was there, my cousin, he got us tickets to be able to go, and they were actually playing the Vancouver Canucks, and Gary McDonald, he's from BC, like he was super stoked to see his team play versus Canadians. I thought Canadians won, but yeah, we had a good time. It was all good. But then like I had like a beer, like full size beer, right? And I was like, woo, like, $0, like woo. And then we get back, dude. When I got back, I had such chills that I tried to hop in the shower, and like a hot shower made me cold. I was like, what's going on? Like my body, I was like totally messed up. Like it was like not a good place to be. And dude, I was completely bedridden. This was a Thursday night. I didn't leave my bed until Saturday morning.
Oh,
I was so messed up. Like, yeah, that's like going too far, and like the body not, having a chance to adapt, and like just getting wrecked. So that was my experience in trying to prepare for Gwangju.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Because here, right, it's winter, so people are cold here. But me, I find it warm. But I'm training so hard. So I get out of the water, I take a cold, like there's a cold shower thing, and like under for a minute, like, oh, I'm like burning. Everybody's like, it's so cold. I'm like, I'm so hot.
Yeah. You're just trying to cool down.
Yeah.
Made it like steam coming off.
Yeah. Because we don't have time for cool down because like an hour we're out. Like we have.
I know that's what I'm finding. Like when we do like the 2.5 to like, well, we don't even get 3K obviously in 45 minutes, but like trying to come close to like 2K in 45 minutes, it's like fast and furious. No time to cool down. You don't even get to shower. Like they've turned the showers off because they don't want you showering. So like you get dressed, you go home and you have to shower at home, and it's like, because like you're not stretching, you're not cooling down, not stretching, like you're leaving like sweating because the pool's too hot, because you're trying to like do like max VO2 in like a recreational like
29 pool, 29 Celsius pool there. How did I prepare for Gwangju? I know I prepare a lot for breaststroke. You saw my times from the warm-up meet. I shaved off 5 seconds off.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, because I was doing. Remember during the summer was an outdoor pool 50 long course, and during some sets I switched lanes to do breaststroke and follow people while they were doing freestyle.
Nice.
So my goal was just follow freestyle people. They were like beating me a bit, but I was like just going hardcore every time.
Yeah. That's good. And that's exactly the same line of thought and train of thought in terms of like, if it's like 15 twos freestyle, then do like 9 twos breaststroke, like, or whatever it is, to be able to like keep as much as you can. Like you're not going to be on the same pace and whatever, but like at the same time, like if you can kind of get the same volume out of like breaststroke, for instance, that you're getting out of freestyle, but like obviously manageable, that you're not like, spending 2.5 hours.
just pure breaststroke.
Well, that's it. Yeah, too much.
Yeah, it's so hard. I don't know. I did it once. I think a full training breaststroke. After an hour, I wanted to like get out.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like I remember some of the sets we do in training camp where it'd be like, I'm pretty sure at one time we did like 9 1,000s backstroke. And you're like, and I did backstroke because it was non-free. So, and I'm like, I'm not doing that much breaststroke. Well, it wasn't 9, first of all. It was like, I think it was like 6 1,000s breaststroke, 8 1,000s butterfly, or 9 1,000s backstroke. But can you imagine? Like, and then we had some guy do the 9 1,000s butterfly because he's like, whatever, I don't give a shit. I'm like, oh my God, like 9,000 butterfly, like in 1,000 butterfly, just doing one and doing that 8 more times.
With an interval, or just do it?
Well, yeah, we interval, like whatever. Like, yeah, I think, because it definitely wasn't an interval, but can you remember? I think it was like probably, we only had, how much time do we have for training? Like 2.5 hours?
Maybe 15 minutes?
3-hour workout?
Like 15 minute, like kilometer?
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine? Like just the sheer like boredom that you would have to endure to do that is enough to make you go crazy. Let alone the actual swimming and like the beating of the body. Like, oh man, those are the sets. I wanted to ask you a question about how tough is it to find good master's programs when you've been traveling? Like in terms of finding something that works for you, but then also like is good camaraderie, like, because obviously like you join a team, so like it's good people, like being able to make, maybe some good rapport, good relationships with people. How's that been?
So for France, how I started was first I was looking for a city to live in, right? So I was looking in Nice, I was looking in Marseille, I looked at Strasbourg. Then based on budget, I saw Strasbourg is cheaper, but they had no team, or online I couldn't find nothing. Then while I was looking at the map of France, I saw Montpellier, never knew it existed. so I went to the Montpellier site. It was a bit more descriptive. So it was saying like, here are our values. So it's like be good in IM, underwaters, kick, and the last one was fun. I'm like, okay, this is like, okay, I see the values are like fun is last. So I emailed them. I emailed a couple of teams, like in Montpellier. I still emailed Marseille, Nice. Marseille, Nice, no answer. None. And Montpellier, they answered me. And And how I chose, I had to look if they had training sessions every day. So Montpellier had 5 sessions. So it was hard-ish. It was finding just a team in France because there's a lot.
True.
Here in Tenerife, there's only 2 teams for masters. So I contacted both. I picked the one that was a smaller team because the other one, their name is Tenerife Masters, and they're like 100 swimmers. I'm like, it's too much. The other one like 15. Yeah, like 15. And they swim with teams. I'm like, you know what? Swimming with teenagers will be interesting. And they had swimming sessions every day also. And sometimes 6, like Monday to Friday, and sometimes Saturdays.
Wow.
So that wasn't hard because I only had 2 teams. And then camaraderie for the French side, everybody's like, oh, like the coach, like, and we have a new Canadian. Like, no, here's a new guy. He's Canadian. And I start talking, they're like, oh, that's the accent in French.
Welcome to Quebecois.
Yeah. And what was weird is that like the French terms of swimming, it's sort of the same, but they're still different.
Yeah, I feel like whenever I've traveled to France and I've found some decent pools in Paris, actually, I've been like, I want to, work on my like, je sais pas, like anything from like, je vais faire like dos, and they're like dos. You mean like crawl sur dos? I'm like, yeah, sure, crawl sur dos. Whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? It's like
like they never write lib. It's like 500 crawl. Nage complète. So you can do any swim.
Okay. That's like freestyle.
Freestyle, nage complète.
Okay. Nage complète, okay.
Yeah. Like when they say easy swim, it's souple.
Souple. Okay.
Yeah. Here, when they say easy, it's suave.
Suave.
Soft swim.
Suavemente.
Yeah. Because when they said suave, I'm like, suave, like, oh yeah? Or like, it's like, no, like smooth. And here, but here they don't have a whiteboard, so they just say, but because of their easy sets, like they're easy to remember. Like they'll say like 20 hundreds. All right, how?
Everything is just
first 50, like first 50 muy rapido, and then second 50 suave. Yeah, that's it. So it's cool. simpler. It's simpler here, like how they give training. But like this club, it's simpler. But the day we get technical, I don't know how. I think. So how it works, like it just says one set, you do the set, and then he waits. And if he says, okay, I don't have time, stop. And then here's the next set. So it's old school, I think, like just saying one set at a time.
Yeah.
So you never know what's coming up. You never know. Like you don't know what's the pain.
Which I love, but I feel like, some swimmers, man, they go crazy over that. They're like, you got to tell me the full package today so I can get my head around it mentally.
Here it's all about surprise. I remember. So we did, it was during a 2-hour session. So it was 1K warm up.
Okay.
Like just free for all warm up. Then we had 20 50s in 1 minute.
Oh, wow.
Then 20 50s again with fins 1 minute. I'm like, okay. Then 20 50s again, just paddles. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Like we're at 4K here, right?
Wow.
So I'm like, ugh. Then last one, 10 by 100s. He was like 130. I'm like, ugh.
Okay, and then 10 by, wow. That's going to be a killer.
Yeah. No, I didn't finish it.
No. That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't have enough water for it. Like I finished all my water. I was like, oh, like all my electrolytes were gone. I didn't know. So it's all.
It's funny you say that because sets like this, especially in training camp, it would be like I'd have like the like jar of peanut butter and like a banana with like granola bar beside like on the pool deck. In intervals, you're like just trying to like take in calories.
That was hard.
Yeah, that's intense, man. That's intense. That's good though. I like that. You're giving me like you're making me feel like, oh, because during Christmas, like I've always been conditioned to be putting myself through hell physically. So like you give me like I want to get swimming right now. I want to get like, doing these long sets, because normally the philosophy of the swimmer, for me at least, like in terms of like training cycles and everything, was always like, when everyone's taking a break and it's holidays, that's when you do your biggest work. Like you do that, over the summer, you want to make your biggest improvements when everyone's taking it easy, or like over the winter break when everyone's eating themselves stupid, like you want to get in the water and you want to go like hard, right? So
because also vacation, like for people like me, a vacation is from work. not from life, right? So
that's it. That's it. Well, which is interesting. But I'm obviously very interested to hear your answer for the last question. But I guess you've answered a little bit my next question, which was how do master's programs and clubs differ from one country to another? I guess to like be more specific about this question, I was going to ask you what's something that you've picked out from other master's programs that maybe we could adopt here in Canada to make our master's programs better.
Oh.
Good question.
To make our master's program better, because I know in Canada we're more about fit for life program.
Fitness, exactly.
It's about fitness, so we're like, so anybody could come in, right? Like anybody, like I just want to swim. You don't need to compete. Where in Europe, it's more competitive, way more competitive edge here, like way more. So, because the only way is maybe to it's I think it's not worth it because we're not enough swimmers in Canada, is to have one branch like purely competitive versus more recreational master swimming. I know L'Université de Montréal tried that, the elite masters and versus recreational masters. I don't know how it ended up, the result, but they had 2 divisions. But what happens, it takes more pool time.
That's it. It breaks or fissures the little bit of pool time that we already have, unfortunately. So that's a tough one. Right?
Whereas in Europe, it's like where I'm going, there's tons of outdoor pools, indoor pools, because there's no winter. So they can just always run with the game, right? And because it's outdoors, you have lights, you can swim up to like 11 o'clock, whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there was no issues. So that's how I see, because like when I checked in France, all the master swimmers clubs, it was pure competitive. Like they didn't like, if you want to do recreational, they have just natation dirigée, just swim.
Like length swim. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like the times that I've been in France swimming, it's been like either you're national bound or just doing your own thing. But it's interesting though, because there's a lot of people that come out for dirigé. Like it seems like there's like here you get like a few people doing a length swim, but like the people that are serious join masters and it's more fitness based. So yeah, that's a very interesting perspective.
Because the French team, we always often do the dives, often.
Okay.
A lot of dives, a lot of push-offs, like
start push-offs, turns like this.
Yeah. Like he said, okay, start at the 12.5, sprint here, turn here, right? So it was very competitive mindset.
Yeah, mindset. Yeah. True.
Yeah, but here I'm swimming with teams, so they're always in a competitive mindset.
The kids are bred to swim fast, eh?
Yeah, but it's fun because they want to practice the English with me because they have the English exams here.
Sure.
So they're like, how do you say this? Like, how do you say palas? Like hand paddles, like. It's like hand paddles, you'll never have that in an exam. Like I doubt in a Spanish exam to say hand paddles. I doubt it, right?
No.
But they want to so they're trying to have like different conversations with me in the pool while we're trying to rest. Right?
Yeah. And you're like catching your breath, and they're like, no, tell me this, tell me that.
Like someone's like, how do you like? She's like, ¿Cómo se dice cansado in inglés? I'm like, tired. She's like, yeah, tired. I'm tired. It's like, yes. That you might see in an exam.
I was going to ask you next question then, in terms of biggest challenge outside of lockdown on your adventure so far. What would you say outside of trying to chase the regional restrictions?
For me, it's when I do activities, I do it often on my own. So that I don't mind, but sometimes it's fun to have like someone to do stuff with me.
True.
So in France was hard, but I managed here. Meeting new people through couch surfing or whatever sometimes helps. Yeah, but doing activities, and tourist activities is hard to do because they're locking down stuff. So that's the hardest.
I guess for me, I'm thinking like how much fun Korea was, like because we were together, you were with your sister, like
because we can laugh at situations together, whereas I'm laughing at my own situations on my own.
Yeah, and having to reflect and be like, oh, that was funny today. Remember? Oh, it's just me talking to myself.
Exactly. So I'm holding it, like I'm writing down a journal so that I remember these things. But
it's good. It's good. Well, and it's nice to have the vlog too, to be able to go look back and be like, some of the questions that I asked you, it's like nice to do some introspection with,
Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%.
Have to contact and talk to Jeff and I. It's all good. We're always here for you, near and far, no matter how. We got you, baby.
Oh, thank you. But honestly, the hardest part, activity-wise, cannot karaoke.
Oh, there's no karaoke at all. Like, what about like? I guess yeah, Spanish culture, not so much karaoke. Yeah?
There's karaoke bars here. They're just closed.
Oh, because of lockdown.
Yeah. So no bars. Same thing everywhere. So
karaoke, interesting. Okay.
yeah.
And then let me ask you the last question. So I have to know because this is I don't because we've you've had to adapt and you're doing such a good job of adapting. Does this trip inspire you to live/work completely remotely in the future? What are your thoughts on that?
So been 7 years I've been working remote from home. So that's easy. So this trip is allowing me to test drive countries. So I'm doing a test drive of countries to see which one I want to live in later on. Tenerife is a good possibility, but the island life is very appealing. So maybe New Zealand will be awesome. Japan seems interesting, but it's expensive. Whereas South Korea is just the bomb. Like it's crazy. Like
I feel like we can do pretty well in South Korea. We love the food, the culture, the people.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
It seems easier to live in. Just the language, but I heard learning Korean is easier than Japanese.
I think for you, this is great to be able to test things out, see what works, give you a bit of a sense of adventure, even though like the rest of the world is being shut down. But it's awesome to hear that things are working. Maybe some things are working better. Some adapting, that you're doing is making is showing you growth personally, and that's awesome, Rich.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. No, I'm trying. Yeah. So we'll see what's the next country afterwards.
Moving on. As soon as they let you move on, that's how it works, I guess.
Exactly. It's like, now you're allowed to leave, sir. All right.
Time to go. Okay. Moving on.
Gotcha.
Je me débrouille autrement là.
Ouais, c'est ça.
À la prochaine. It's all good. It's all good. That's awesome.
Thanks, Dave, for being on the call.
Absolutely. Merci, Richard. Uncle Pho, high recommendation. Click subscribe.
I don't care.
Miss you, Richard. Miss you, Amen.